Story 1. For background, I live in a small apartment complex near campus with friends. As a 20-year-old girl, my friends teased me for never meeting boys. I grew sick of being the friend who stayed home eating pizza while they dated. I joined plenty of fish. I'm not someone who says yes to random strangers. They needed good looks, plenty of photos, and 2 shared interests. With those rules, I braced myself for online dating. Within days, I chatted with 2 boys. One claiming to be a 20-year-old doctor, hard to believe. The other, a construction worker, Dan. While getting flack from roommates, Dan messaged asking to grab food. I told my roommates my plans for safety. I even set a check-in time with code words. One for okay, another for help. Silence meant call police. I dolled myself up. Hair in a bun, strands near my glasses, white blouse, black pants. I drove 15 minutes to Dan's chosen restaurant. He looked like his photos, waiting outside. His eyes lit up seeing me. We chatted briefly outdoors, summer, not cold, then dined inside. We discussed life and school. My friend texted. I sent the all good code. Dan praised his job, but he was boring, unenthusiastic, unexciting. It was a mediocre date. I had zero interest in another. The next morning, my phone vibrated non-stop, falling off my dresser. Messages flooded in from Dan, first gushing about fun, then turning violent angry over my lack of reply. It was 7 a.m. I texted back. I was sleeping. No more dates. As I prepared to block him, a final message arrived. Watch your back. Initially creeped out, I reasoned blocking him and deleting accounts made me safe. Later, a random number texted, "You look pretty in blue PJs." I glanced outside to see Dan sprinting down my road. How did he get my number? I blocked it. That night, I woke to texts from the blocked number, dozens threatening, "You're gonna get it." My roommates urged police, but I stupidly didn't go. I reblocked it and slept. Again, buzzing woke me. I drove straight to the police station. They said they couldn't help much, just block the number. At least it was on record. Days passed quietly until pictures arrived. My house, me inside, my car, my work. I returned to police and got a restraining order against Dan. Never heard from him again. I avoid dating sites forever. Story 2. Around age 6 or 7, I lived next to Keith, a 60-year-old man. He jogged often, appearing fit. My grandmother, his friend, invited him for tea and gossip. Things seemed fine until I saw him from my bedroom window, masturbating on a deck chair in his garden. As a child, I didn't understand. I assumed he didn't see me. Next morning, I opened curtains to find him repeating the act. He looked up, smiled, and continued. Weeks passed. I didn't tell Nan, fearing she'd think I lied. I saw him almost daily. I realized it was intentional when he'd make loud noises or shout my name to get my attention. Later, on my birthday, Nan invited him. Neighbors were invited. Alone in the kitchen getting water, I heard the door open. Keith walked in wearing gold cycling shorts that exposed everything. I thought it was fashion. Now I see he wanted stares. He said, "If you were my daughter, I'd never let you leave looking so sexy. Thanks for keeping our secret." I replied something like, "Sexy is a bad word." He started pulling down his shorts. I panicked, called Nan. She rushed in to find him hastily pulling up his shorts, erection visible. Thankfully, I never saw him masturbating again. Nan called police. He got a warning. Inadequate for his actions. I lived beside him 6 more years. Story 3. I'm a late-20s man, working graveyard shifts, midnight to 8 a.m. At 18, I lived with my wife and newborn daughter in a third-story apartment. The front door and kitchen window faced outside. Other windows, patio door, were 40 feet up. Our neighborhood was safe, but surrounded by sketchy areas. Our only AC was window-mounted in the master bedroom, so we all slept there. When my daughter was a month old, late July, blistering heat, I called in sick with a fever. I slept on the living room couch, with windows and patio door open for airflow. After feverish nightmares, I woke sweating. Around 1 a.m., I heard thump, thump, thump. I couldn't locate it. Silence returned. Later, my daughter cried for food. Peeling myself off the couch, I went to the kitchen. My wife emerged, gasped, startling me. As I turned to reassure her, I saw something fall from the roof onto the patio. Then a man in all black dropped down. My feverish brain panicked. I screamed incoherently and ran toward the patio door, wide open. Only a flimsy screen locked it. I moved sluggishly. Luckily, he heard me, saw me charging, and scurried up the roof. Thump, thump, thump. I slammed the door shut. My wife called 911. Police found his duffel bag. Zip ties, duct tape, condoms, disposable cameras, rope, a large dildo, box cutters, a hunting knife. I've no doubt what he planned. If I hadn't stayed home, nothing would have stopped him. Story 4. My husband and I moved in 9 months ago. Neighbors seemed okay. We're homebodies. Lucy lived directly across. On Mother's Day, as we left for brunch, she wished me Happy Mother's Day. I reciprocated. She approached our driveway. I rolled down the window, saying we'd talk later. She became hysterical, yelling obscenities, flailing her arms. My husband drove off. Returning home, 3 of our 4 potted plants on pedestals were toppled. As we exited the car, Lucy ran out and stood at her driveway's end, silently watching. We replaced the plants and installed 6 Wi-Fi security cameras. When we pulled up, Lucy ran out again, this time with a chair, to watch us replace plants. A neighbor told us Lucy acts like this when slighted, and the landlord should have warned us. We said we weren't there for her entertainment and to stay off our property. She went inside when we installed cameras. The next day, as we left for work, Lucy ran out in a nightgown, arms folded. Returning, the plants were moved, but not knocked over. We weighed them down with rocks. Camera footage showed 2 girls, 6 to 8, from Lucy's house trying to push them over, failing, then returning. Police documented it. For 2 months, Lucy ran outside at any movement near our house. We ignored her. One day she blocked our driveway with her car. Police made her move it. A week later she did it again. Police ticketed her. She began waiting in her car near our arrival time, exiting when we did, regardless of our. We noticed her staking out a subdivision entrance. We used another entrance. It worked a week before she followed us in. I filmed her. A month ago, a huge trailer blocked my driveway at lunch. The driver, Lucy's friend, refused to move. I threatened police. He moved but returned after I parked. I called police and the trailer company. The company apologized. Trailer shouldn't be residential. Police ticketed the trailer. The driver was arrested for warrants. A week later, Lucy followed us, parked, ran to our driveway, yelling about us contacting the truck company and calling us stupid. She left when she saw me recording. Police warned her to stay away. She ranted about us not owning the house and her right to trespass. The officer reiterated she'd be arrested if she did. About a week ago, kids fought on our lawn throwing trash. Lucy yelled from her porch, "Fight harder, louder!" Police dismissed it as kids playing, ignoring video proof. They told Lucy to stay away, again. The next day, 40 degrees Fahrenheit, she stood in the street watching us. She still does this. Police won't act. We move in 3 months. Until then, we document. Story 5. I live in Norway, small and safe. The creepiest thing here is a dirty look on a bus. So I never expected anything creepy. I live in Chicken Falls. In fall 2015, age 20, I moved into my first apartment, a basement below an older woman's house. The house sat at a gravel road's end, wooded, field surrounded, 1 kilometer from the main road. To reach my apartment, you walked through the front gate, around the house to the basement entrance. A small porch sat outside my door for smoking. A steep wooded slope was 5 meters away. I live beside woods. In May 2016, my boyfriend Sam moved in. His friend Jessica helped us move his things from Oslo. Leaving Oslo at 11 p.m., roadwork delayed us. We arrived at 1 a.m. Chicken Falls was dead silent. Unloading the car, I grabbed bags and stepped onto the porch. I heard rustling leaves from the woods, a rhythmic sound like footsteps. Sam heard it too. Jessica asked, "Hear what?" Sam explained the rustling. We brushed it off as neighbors, kids. A week later at 1 a.m., Sam and I smoked outside. I heard the sounds again. We joked about it. Creepy things don't happen here. We ignored it. Another week later, same time, noises again. I realized it was the same weekday time. We joked about a killer in an abandoned house but brushed it off. The next week, silence. We forgot. The week after, Sam smoked alone. He burst in, scared, whispering, "Quick, the sounds!" I ran out. They were back. Same rhythm, but closer. Nervous, Sam and I walked toward the slope. I shouted, "Ha ha, funny! Maybe I'll call police." We laughed. The sounds stopped. Thinking we scared them, we shouted, "Ha!" Immediately, the sounds returned faster, louder, like sprinting up the slope. Sam and I turned and ran inside, cigarettes in hand. Locked door, lights off, dropped to the floor. Terrified, I asked, "Did you hear that?" Sam nodded. "Someone ran toward us?" He nodded. We heard boots on the wooden porch. I held my breath. Sam pointed at the door, panicked. We sat frozen. A loud bang hit the window beside the door. My apartment layout. Entry, bedroom, right. Kitchen, ahead. Bathroom between kitchen, living room, left. The living room was underground, 1 small window showing flower beds. Now we saw worn boots outside. Story 5. I live in Norway, small and safe. The creepiest thing here is a dirty look on a bus. So I never expected anything creepy. I live in Chicken Falls. In fall 2015, age 20, I moved into my first apartment, a basement below an older woman's house. The house sat at a gravel road's end, wooded, field surrounded, 1 kilometer from the main road. To reach my apartment, you walk. Story 6. I'm a 20-year-old Hooters girl. Creepy guys are routine, but never like this. Older men ask for my number/dates. I politely decline. Working night shift, a 40-something man sat alone. I greeted him cheerfully. He seemed irritated, uninterested in chatting. I offered a box/dessert. He paid and left. At the door, he grabbed my arm, pulled me close, hissed, "I want you so badly," then left. Uncomfortable, I stood frozen. I told coworkers. Closed at midnight, left at 1:30 a.m. I carry a stun gun. Usually someone walks me to my car, but it was late. Most had left. My car was 5 feet away. I decided to go solo. Locked doors checked, dead phone. My charger only works at certain angles. A truck pulled behind me, blocking me in. I thought it was my roommate, same silver truck, but wrong model. The driver honked non-stop for 5 minutes. When I refused to exit, he parked beside me, banged my window, yelled, "Get out!" It was the same man. My phone wouldn't turn on. I reversed aggressively out. He followed. I ran a red light, sped away. He stopped at the light. I drove extra before home. Later, I checked my car. No damage. Was he trying to rob/kidnap me? Creepy man waited 5 hours for me. Hope we never meet again. Story 7. I'm a female travel counselor, travel agent, for a major tour company. Fam trips familiarize us with cruise lines. Pre-holidays, I got a free 4-night cruise to Baja, leaving December 26th. With my husband on a guy's trip, I sent our 7-year-old to Grandma's. Free cruise. What could go wrong? Flight/embarking smooth. Lovely balcony room. That night, an Indian man sat beside me, despite empty seats. He introduced himself, 26, communications, studied in London, traveling with elderly parents/sister's family. Seemed nice. I mentioned being married with a child. His family arrived, we parted. Next day, port stop, Segway tour. He and his father/nephew were in my line. We chatted briefly. After the tour, I browsed shops, ate pizza. I felt watched, shrugged it off. Back on ship, I sunbathed in my swimsuit, headphones on. Dozing, hands shook me roughly. He stood, frowning. "You're not allowed to show off your body, disrespecting me and my religion." Crew intervened. Embarrassed, I said, "I'm married, none of your concern." He stomped off, snarling, "If you were mine, you'd be sorry." Next day, sea day, no sign of him. Sunbathed on balcony. That night, martinis at piano bar. Settled in room, messaged husband. Dozing off, my door shook violently, like someone ramming it. Robe on, peephole check. Him crazed in formal wear, screaming profanities. The across-the-hall neighbor, big guy, opened his door, told him to leave before waking kids. He spat a final profanity and left. Next morning, the neighbor said he'd held a steak knife. I told the cruise director. Saw him once more disembarking, carrying a niece. Luckily, didn't see me. Story 8. I'm a late-20s male, 6'4", 180 pounds. Too nice to friends, do favors unless ridiculous. One night, 1:30 a.m., drunk friend Claire begged for a ride. The bar was 10 to 15 minutes away, her place 35-45 minutes opposite side. Claire was solid, so I grabbed keys and concealed carry. Arrived 2:05 a.m. Claire slumped on bench. Doorman ID'd me, then whispered, "Think she was roofied." Guy hovered around her. She chugged her last drink, said you'd come, asked to sit by me, felt dizzy/sick, passed out. Guy disappeared after. Thanking him, he helped carry Claire to my car. Midway, she woke groggy/talking nonsense. Buckled in, I drove off. Halfway, fuel light on. Pulled into sketchy gas station, no 24-hour store, pumping gas, heard metallic scraping. A man dragged a pipe toward me. "You took my girlfriend. I'm here to take her back." Bloodshot eyes. I yelled, "Back the fuck off! Leave!" Unfazed, he stepped closer. I drew my gun. "Back the fuck off! You don't have to die!" He threw the pipe. I dove behind car. Heard car door slam, tires screech. He fled over curb, swerving. Panicked, I yanked fuel pump, drove off. Claire still passed out. I realized he must have followed us. I'd been distracted. Wary of tails, I sped. At Claire's neighborhood, circled blocks to ensure no followers. Pulled up, shook her awake. Groggy but could walk. Got keys, walked her in. Eyes welled, she clung to me, sobbing. Got her to bed, left note, hospital in morning. Next day, sick, vomited demons. Drove her to hospital, tested/treated. I shudder, thinking what might have happened without my gun. I know martial arts, but not against a pipe-wielding psycho. Claire remembers little, just calling me and sitting by doorman. Advice: be with trusted friends when out. That night could have ended badly. Thankfully, we made it out safe.